Welcome to Cosmic Scene with Jill Jardine. I'm your host, Jill Jardine, Masters in Counseling Psychology, longtime astrologer, psychic healer, and yogi. In this episode, I'm going to share my astrology update for November 2024. Stay tuned until the end of the episode when I give my sun sign predictions for each sign.
Hey listeners, I want to remind you to support Cosmic Scene with Jill Jardine podcast. You can do that by going on to www.buzzsprout.com/958-528/support. This will be in the show notes.
Welcome to the episode on the astrology of November 2024. Stay tuned until the end of the episode when I give my sun sign forecast for each zodiac sign. As we enter November, you may be asking yourself, where does this highway go? And you may ask yourself, am I right? Am I wrong? Yes, we are in a once-in-a-lifetime month. Pluto will leave Capricorn on November 19th, not to return in our lifetime. In fact, not to go back until 240 years. You may also wonder, why am I feeling anxious? When is the cray-cray going to end? Why is the division between the unconscious and conscious types still so strong? Why don't people look beneath the surface? Welcome to November. It's a month that starts with a spooky Scorpio new moon on November 1st, peaks with an intense Taurus full moon on November 15th, as Saturn, the karmic lord, goes direct on the same day. And get ready for those delusional bubbles to pop. The new Plutonian paradigm pulses in on November 19th, when Pluto finally leaves Capricorn and enters Aquarius until 2044. Hooray! We end the month with a Mercury retrograde cycle beginning on 11/25, right before the Thanksgiving holiday in the United States. Travel and communications will be tricky until Mercury travels direct on December 15th. Here are the key dates in November 2024. November 1st, Scorpio new moon. From November 2nd to January 8th, 2025, Mercury transits through Sagittarius. November 3rd through January 6th, 2025, Mars transits Leo. From 11/11 through 12/7, Venus transits Capricorn. On November 15th, full moon in Taurus with the sun in Scorpio. Busy astro day, November 15th, because Saturn goes direct in Pisces. November 19th, Pluto transits into Aquarius. On November 21st, the sun enters Sagittarius. And on November 25th through December 15th, Mercury is retrograde in Sagittarius. This is all based on the Eastern time zone in the United States. Scorpio sun seeps into early November, joining his lunar lover, the moon in Scorpio, and Mercury in the serpent's lair for a post-Halloween Day of the Dead, November 1st, Scorpio new moon celebration. The veil between the worlds is thin as the Day of the Dead eerily ushers in a month of revelations and reactivity. Mercury exits from the Scorpio cosmic cluster the next day on November 2nd and transits into fiery Sagittarius, stirring up the flames of passion and intensity just before the United States presidential election of November 5th. Mercury transiting Sagittarius is the truth seeker, asking us to see beyond the narratives of illusion and deception. It's been a month out since the October 2nd Erie eclipse, but the fallout is strong with the scorpionic saturation. This is when the turbulent fallout eclipse energies from October culminate with a big karmic surprise with this new moon in Scorpio trining Saturn in Pisces. Scorpio new moon loves to reveal secrets and bring forth what is hidden. The dark underbelly is exposed and things are not what they seem. Look beneath the surface for answers and use your intuition to suss out the truth. The Scorpio new moon occurs at 9 degrees Scorpio. The Sabian symbol for 9 degrees Scorpio is, quote, a dentist at work. The keynote is overcoming the negative results of social practices and ego cravings. More interpretation from Dane Rudar's An Astrological Mandala book, quote, in order to properly evaluate and interpret this symbol, we should realize the meaning of teeth. Permanent teeth appear normally at age 7, when, according to some metaphysical people, the personalized individuality of the child, in other words, the ego, takes full control of the physical organism. The teeth are used to tear down foodstuffs so they can be digested and assimilated. Social living and cultural patterns impose upon us certain habits of eating, arouse desires for unwholesome or denatured food, force us perhaps to eat in tense circumstances and hurriedly. This results in tooth decay far more frequently than should be inevitable through aging. This symbol therefore shows us how society and civilization, which may indirectly cause tooth decay, then have to invent means to skillfully repair the damage. Human, is compelled by social needs to display inventiveness. End of quote, and end of the interpretation by Dane Rudar. So I want to add this. Teeth in Vedic astrology are ruled by Saturn, which is the karmic lord in astrology and rules over our structures. Saturn will go direct in 2 weeks after this new moon. So we are looking at what do we need to clean up between the Scorpio new moon and the full moon in Taurus on November 15th. Dental work itself can be scary or anxiety producing for many. Oftentimes, dental work has to go to the root of the tooth, such as in having root canals or extractions. This is metaphorical for going to the root of a problem, the root of an issue. Scorpio energies go right to the root or core to heal or solve issues, although there may be resistance. Scorpio is also a psychological sign. So we might ponder at the Scorpio new moon, what is it you have been resisting or don't want to deal with that needs to get to the root in order to heal? This means physically, psychologically, emotionally, or mentally. What do we need in our society as a whole to get beneath the surface so the real deep healing can begin? Powerful Scorpio new moon kicks off November and sets the tone for at least the first 3 weeks. On November 3rd, Mars, a fiery planet, transits into Leo, a fire sign, stoking up the unrest, anger, and self-righteousness that is already pervading our culture. Mars in Leo trines Mercury in Sagittarius, and Venus is transiting Sagittarius as well. The rhetoric is inflamed and tempers flare. Even Venus can't keep the peace as she is busy trying to speak the truth. Venus tries her best to quell unrest before she transits into Capricorn on November 11th through December 7th and wants to bring things back to business as usual. Venus tries to establish calm Capricornian structures and reminds us of the value of hard work and paying off karmic debts in time for the looming new year. Then the major game changer shows up mid-month at the pivotal date of November 15th, when Saturn goes direct in Pisces at 9:20 a.m. East Coast time, followed by a full moon in Taurus at 4:28 p.m. Saturn forward pulses in Pisces on November 15th, opening floodgates of emotion, compassion, and cleaning karmic conundrums that have been brewing for the past few months. Saturn transiting direct in Pisces picks up the pace, gets us in the groove, and we can go with the flow. Creative projects that were put on the back burner can now flow forth. Spiritual inclinations and higher self-contact can be enhanced. Consciousness shifts abound. Mystic crystal visions come back. Saturn in Pisces wants the karma cleared and doesn't allow for spiritual bypass. Do the shadow work, or the shadows will find you out there or inside. Full moon in Taurus on November 15th brings financials to the forefront and other earth plane concerns, perhaps even related to survival. Taurus full moon wants things to be a certain way, but the best way to ride the lunar tides is to release rigidity, fixed ideas, and stubbornness. The harder we hold on, the more the attachment, the tougher the lessons. Learn to go with the flow under Scorpio Sun and Pisces Saturn. By mid-month, the U.S. election should be decided despite obstacles and other interferences with the process that occurred earlier in the month. Yeah, that's right. I'm saying that the U.S. presidential election results won't be decided until about mid-month around that Taurus full moon on November 15th. Let's see what happens. The Sabian symbol for the full moon in Taurus at 24 degrees Taurus is, quote, an Indian warrior riding fiercely, human scalps hanging from his belt. Keynote, the aggressiveness of human instincts when fighting for their earthly base of operation. First of all, my apologies for this Sabian symbol being politically incorrect in our current times. These archetypal descriptions of the 360 degrees of the zodiac were channeled in the early 20th century when times were different and associations were also quite different than here in the 21st century. I'm quoting Dane Rudar's book, An Astrological Mandala, when I read the Sabian symbol. Again, I will repeat it because it can be playing out in a weird way. An Indian warrior riding fiercely, human scalps hanging from his belt. The keynote, the aggressiveness of human instincts when fighting for their earthly base of operation. Whoa. The other quote from the book is, this symbol seems to imply the violence and aggressiveness are basic components of human nature at the level of the emotions and of a deep-seated identification with a particular culture which insists on regarding man or other cultures as potential enemies. I'd also add, and regarding women as potential enemies. What is being confirmed here is the value of a group of men's differences from other groups. In other words, violence for survival. I say ruh-roh, uh-oh, about that Sabian symbol. It seems that some may resort to violence at this time because they don't like the way the world and consciousness is evolving. Interesting, as I predict that this is the time when the outcome of the U.S. presidential election may be decided. So we can counteract this potential for violence or for aggression by being the peace we want to be in the world. The mantra that I have been chanting and recommend during November is Sanskrit, Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotir Gamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya, which translates to, let us be led from unconsciousness to consciousness, from darkness to light, from death to immortality. And I'd like to add this quote from John Lennon in his song Imagine, quote, I hope someday you'll join us and the world will live as one. Yes, unity consciousness is flowing in, and you're either part of it or part of the problem. To the extent that you can ride the waves of change will facilitate your integration of the influx of new energies coming from Pluto transiting into Aquarius for a 20-year sojourn on November 19th. The motto for Pluto in Aquarius and Saturn in Pisces is to evolve or dissolve. Yes, we are entering a brave new world, and you're either in or out. We always have a choice to pick which energies to align with. Create the reality you want to live in internally, and the external will show up that way in your life. We can breathe easier as the trauma and drama fades into the background when the sun saunters into spontaneous, fun-seeking Sagittarius on November 21st, allowing doors to open and reconnection with the soul after simmering in the scorpionic shadows. With the ingress of Sagittarius, we can start focusing on the future, asking ourselves, how can we better express ourselves in our relationships and work? What visions for your future need to be rekindled? It is time to plan those travels for 2025 as our inner adventure awakens. Look at those goals that have been put on the back burner, tweak them, and go forth and prosper. Expand your horizons, renew confidence and courage, and nurture faith and hope. During the final week of November, beginning on November 25th, Mercury goes retrograde until December 15th, giving a reboot and redo after the antics earlier this month. Take time to look at the big picture of your life, regardless of what has taken place out there. Stay in touch with your personal truth and what you desire to manifest in your life. Remember, all is well, all will be well. Stay tuned for my predictions for each sun sign for November 2024.
Are you interested in natural health and regenerative healing? Do you want to work with vibration to heal your body? Check out this patented wearable light technology at www.lifewave.com/JillJar. LifeWave is a company that has patches that you wear, so it's not transdermal, you're not taking anything in, and what these patches do, they activate your body's light. It's called biomodulation, and that light is activated, your body starts producing GHK, copper peptides, which in turn activates stem cell production. That's right. So wearing these patches will regenerate your body, reflects your body's light back into your tissues, and you become more vital, energized, reduce pain, inflammation, improvement of sleep, increased strength are all possibilities. Other benefits could be hair quality, rapid wound healing, mental clarity, increased joy and stamina, your skin appearance and wrinkles could go away. Again, all probable and possible depending on your chemistry. Others have enjoyed increased sports performance and recovery and restored muscle or skeletal conditions. Check it out at lifewave.com/JillJar and order yours today.
Welcome to the part of the episode you've been waiting for, a sun sign forecast for November 2024. Let's start with the birthday kids. Happy birthday, Scorpio. Oh, Scorpio, the intensity keeps rising, but you're unfazed by the drama and collective cray-cray. It's nothing compared to your own psyche. November kicks off a favorable cycle for you at the new moon on 11/1. Don't take on other people's energies. Let them figure it out. Keep releasing what no longer serves. You reboot and recoup your life force. Take advantage of this regenerative cycle, Scorpio, and you get 4 lucky days in November.
Rock and roll.
Your lucky days are November 1st, 2nd, 28th, and 29th. Sagittarius, everyone is wacky, but things are looking up for you when Mercury transits into your sign on November 2nd and stays there for an extended visit due to a retrograde cycle at month's end. Use this time to let go, release, clear the decks, prepare for rebirth. You're in the karmic cycle of your solar return, so let bygones be bygones. Sun enters Sag on November 21st, so life is looking brighter and lighter. Your lucky days, Sagittarius, are November 4th, 5th, and 30th. Capricorn, get ready for your own personal Pluto party as you are finally free from a 14-year cycle of continual death, rebirth, and transformation as of November 19th.
Yeehaw!
Roll out the red carpet for your new life. In early November, clean out your karmic closets once and for all. Your lucky days, Capricorn, are November 6th and 7th. Aquarius, at the beginning of November, you're looking around out there and saying, what the actual fuck? But then you go within to clear karma and get ready for your Aquarian, Plutonian rollout at mid-month. Your physical body and energy body keep recalibrating. Pluto transits into Aquarius on November 19th, Sun into Sagittarius on November 21st, lighting up your path forward. Your lucky days, Aquarius, are November 8th and 9th. Pisces, you might be feeling hypersensitive, picking up on collective anxieties and unease. Keep your own counsel and get ready to move forward when Saturn goes direct in your sign on November 15th. The spiritual light beams in, and you will feel a deeper connection than usual to your soul. Your intuitive abilities are enhanced. Your lucky days, Pisces, are November 10th and 11th. 11/11. A portal day, Pisces. You know how to work with that energy. Aries. Aries doesn't like the disturbance in the force. Chill out and try to rest, relax, and recoup your energies. Scorpio planets light up your 8th house of other people's money and unexpected resources. So don't be surprised if some extra funds show up when least expected. Your lucky days, Aries, are November 12th and 13th. Taurus. Sun, Mercury, and new moon in Scorpio at the new moon on 11/1 reveal what has been lurking in the shadows. Full moon in Taurus on November 15th brings everything to the surface. It all makes sense now, both in a practical as well as an existential way. Proceed with caution, walk, don't run, and remember to have some fun. Your lucky days, Taurus, are November 14th and 15th. Gemini. Jupiter is still retrograding in your sign, so you have to go back and figure things out. Venus is opposing your sun in Sagittarius. Mercury moves into your polar opposite sign on November 2nd. Relationships may be revealing your personal shadow. Do your best to weather the ups and downs. Flexibility is key to whatever comes your way. Your lucky days, Gemini, are November 16th and 17th. Cancer. You may be triggered in early November due to the influx of water energy. Family and ancestral karmas may surface to clear. This is a time to get to the core of your issues and to find ways to regenerate your life force. As you release the past, space is made in your life for new experiences and helpful people to flow in. Your lucky days, Cancer, are November 18th and 19th. Leo. Leo doesn't like it when things feel out of control, and early November feels like a show. Lay low early in the month to avoid confrontations or difficult people. Mars goes into your sign on November 3rd, perhaps making you irritable and volatile. Work out and move some energy in your physical body. Life improves with Mercury in Sagittarius and with the friendly fire as the sun shifts into Sagittarius after November 21st. Your lucky days, Leo, are November 20th and 21st. Virgo. Scorpio planets give you a big boost, and you may score some unexpected funds. Your hard work pays off, and the universe finds a way to reward you. Virgo is on the receiving end of others' praise, appreciation, and generosity. You have given so much. Now is your time to receive. Your lucky days, Virgo, are November 22nd and 23rd. Libra. Your internal process is intense. Just go with it. You feel grief and loss, but can't figure out why. Despite intense scorpionic skies, you navigate these changing times with flowing grace. You need to go deep within during early November. The social butterfly will emerge from the cocoon during holiday season. Your lucky days, Libra, are November 23rd and 24th.
It's a great time to book a reading. So check out my website, JillJardineAstrology.com/shop, and pick the kind of reading or service you would like.
I hope you enjoyed this episode on the astrology of November 2024. Remember to download, subscribe, share, and give us a 5-star review. Sending positive Plutonian pulsations and cosmic currents through the quantum field. Stop!